Hello, everybody, and we are back again with Change Your Mind, Change Your Life. This is our last chapter, chapter 10 in the series that we've been working on. I am Dr. Mary Power, and I'm joined again today with the infamous Dr. Larry Markson. Today, we want to actually tie together this video series that we've done. We are 10 chapters in now, including this one, and we've gone through all the steps that if you'll go back through and listen and watch these videos, will hopefully bring you to a better place in your life. We started with why change in the first place, kind of talking about our journey and what we were going to go through. And then we brought you through several videos that tell you all the steps that you can do to start this journey. So many people out there just don't know where to start. I think most people want a better life. Most people want to have more or be more. Some people just don't know really how to get there. I challenge you each to go back and watch these videos again, but the point I want to make starting out is you have to know why you want to change. What is it about you that you want different? Is it a point that you just don't even like yourself? Or maybe there is some things from your past that you really have to deal with. You have to first really see what it is that's holding you back before you can build the future. So many want to just jump to make a list of all the things I want, and then they're frustrated as to why they don't achieve the things on their list or why nothing ever changes. We tend to close the door on our past, which in some aspects is good, but it's not good to close that door before you address it and put it to rest. If you allow that door to have a big gap or hole and it seeps back in and haunts you the rest of your life, that's not good. So let's address the past first and then move forward into the world, the journey that we really want to make. So Larry, I'll let you go from there.
So you know what, I agree with everything you said, and for me, I was on this journey, so I understand. I've told you in previous chapters that my growing up days were not positive, not successful, not reinforced. I had all the limitations, including what parents tell us, save for a rainy day, a woman's place is in the home. We were taught that. Say that today and you get shot. So it can't happen. So I learned a lot of negativity. So then when I got to the point that I was sick and tired of being sick and tired, of not achieving anything I wanted, of being unhappy, of not viewing myself as any kind of special person in life, I went to a seminar, I told you, and I made a decision, the number one ingredient of success. I made that decision that from now on, for the rest of my life, whether it takes me 3 years or 5 years or 10 years or a lifetime, which is now what's happening, right? I will learn to change my thoughts, change my beliefs, adapt, refine, and modify my behaviors until I can reach something that I can be proud of. And so I started. So the first thing that I had to do is to learn something that it took me a long time to believe, that we were born with a great power. And I'm not talking about Superman power, that kind. We have the power to choose. That's our greatest gift ever, our power to choose. We can choose our belief systems. We can choose how much we're going to learn. We can choose to make decisions. We can choose to change and modify. And so that power is, winners make different choices than losers. People that are happy understand that happiness is a decision. It's not a happening. It's be, do, and have, not have, do, and be. And so my first power to choice is, I left that seminar. I was in a chiropractic practice at the time, and I wasn't doing well, and I had graduated with honors, and I was raised in my profession, so I just had the love for it, so that was already there, but I wasn't being successful because I wasn't being successful. I was transmitting to my patients, to my friends, to everything, that I'm not the right person. So how do I become the right one? So I decided one day to mimic, copy, plagiarize, and steal the attitudes, actions, and procedures of anyone that was more successful than I was, which was everyone. So I was quite busy on a 10-year journey. Oh, the first year had instant results, which is probably why I kept going. So frankly, you must change. Now, in order for you to change, you've got to look at your past, like Mary said, and select some things. I wouldn't take 100. I'm not good looking, I'm stupid, I wouldn't make a whole laundry list of everything. I would take 2 or 3 that are really important to you and start working on them. So, and then you can replace them with 3 more and 3 more. So it doesn't seem like the list that's never ending. Okay? So you must change. You must change your attitude. It is your attitude, not your aptitude, that determines your altitude in life. Okay? So it's not how smart you are, it's attitude. I would rather be around a positive, enthusiastic, warm, and loving person any day than a thumb-sucking, negative, doomy-glooming person. And so would you. So I decided the people that were most successful had smiles on their face more often. They were more kind. They were generous, right? They treated their employees differently than I was treating my employees. So I copied it, and it was difficult because I was play acting, which is the thing, to play act the role. So we taught you, Mary and I talked about the 4 basics. First thing I had to do is set a goal. Not just, I want to be better. What does that mean? So I want this to be better. By what date and what action steps am I going to take? So I wrote it out, and then I got better at it, and then just like you do. So most people, I think, and I'm sure you can agree that most people, if I said to an audience, I've done this, Mary, I think you've seen it, right? An audience of 1,000 people say, who wants to change if they're going to be happier? Everybody raise hands. If you're going to be healthy, if you're going to be blah, 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 more prosperous, everybody's raising hands. So everybody wants to change, or so they think, but the truth is they fear change down deep. That's why it doesn't happen. So change, if you make a choice to change, then you're going to have some audacity and determination and stick-to-itiveness to do it. So I think my part for right now, Mayor, is if I had to tell people, hang out with success, right? Hang out with success. So my friends are different now than they were then. My opinion about financial things and prosperity is much different than the poverty concept, Larry, that was younger, right? My attitude about serving people and bigger than myself, helping humanity. I'm on the phone all day long, helping people or neighbors or whatever it happens to be. And it's not just because I want to be generous so I can get something. It's because generosity breeds its own rewards.
Yes,
okay.
Definitely. And I think, coming off of that tangent about change is that in the Be Do Have, making that decision that you want to change instantly starts to change your being, who you are. And so you have to make peace with those things from the past, address those fears that are holding you back. And the thing is we have to remember there is a do part in that. We can't go from I want to change and start working on our being to having. There is a to-do list, and that's the things that we talked about in chapter 5, 6, and 7. That was your affirmations that he mentioned. We got to put the good in replacing the bad, writing down those goals and getting very specific of when you want those by, and again, some to-do lists, the action steps to achieve those. And mind you, one thing we did not mention in that video that's very important about goals is that they need to be written down 90 days before execution begins. So if you're looking at 2021 goals, starting January 1, this is my goal list, they really should be in place by October 1st. So some of those that are a little bit behind right now, make that a top priority to get that list in place. But don't forget to put why you want to achieve those goals. That is hugely important because it is the thing that will keep you going forward when you start to waver or self-sabotage, to touch back on why did I want to do this in the first place. And then chapter 7, we talked about meditation and visualization. That is really bringing home the things that you're doing in affirmations and goals, because it's the one piece that sometimes we forget or don't even know to execute. But meditation calms down. Even though you're putting affirmations in, good stuff in, sometimes we need more help getting bad stuff out. And meditation allows us to calm down, slow down, let some of that stuff go, because some of it's just purely stress and anxiety that we've allowed to build up. So if we let some of that really go, it allows for a better host for the good stuff that we're wanting to put in, the good words we're telling ourselves and we're reading, and then visualizing that movie of yourself, the me that I want to be, in such vivid color and animation that it's real. And that's your to-do list. So if we're talking about be, do, have, wanting to change, and then focusing on those 3 chapters of really what to do. Everybody wants a to-do list. They forget to work on the change part. So that is important. But then we give you specific to do. You have to have that. And then at the end, you get to have the life that you really want. But we can't do it in reverse. You can't just have things without first being different and then doing things to promote being different and moving forward. And then you get to have what you want.
So Mary, you're talking a lot about being, and I don't know if we adequately explain that to people now. So it's be, do, and have, okay? That's the right models. But 80% of the world are have, do, and be. In other words, when I have something, when I have the new car, when I meet someone, when something good happens, then I'll do what I'm supposed to do, then I'll be happy. Have, do, and be. Happiness is the result of doing something that works out. 20% of the top winners and leaders that you would admire in life are being happy, being something on the inside. So be, do, and have is the 20%. That means I am going to be happy. I'm going to be charitable. I'm going to be action-oriented. I'm going to be working on my goals. I'm going to change my communications. I'm going to clean up the clutter in my life. Being something. That's an internal who you are. So I like to say what so. What so is the being level is what's true about you. What so is what is about you. What's really true about you. So if I'm being generous and prosperous and helpful and smart and making better decisions, I'm being something, then my action steps are going to change. And then I'm going to end up having what I want to have. 20-80, 80-20. So being, when Mary talks about be, it's who you become internally. So I'm not the same person that I was, and not only because it's aging, it's because my environments are controlled. I go where I want to go. I'm with whom I want to be with just because I want to be with them, and I avoid, when I make mistakes, I avoid doing them again as best as I can. If I find myself repeating something that my father taught me, let's say, that I believed, for all those years until I said, cancel, that's going away. The new Larry, without being disrespectful, the new Larry makes a different decision about that. So in other words, if there's a bum at the end of a street, it's not even a bum, someone at the end of a street in a red light, and they come up and they wash your windows, or they have a can and they have a sign on their chest, for me, donate a little bit to me. Most people just look down and won't give. Some people will give money generously, $1 or $2 or whatever it is. And my feeling is, and I asked a lot of people, why don't you give this person something? You have $1 or $2 is not going to change your life. Maybe they'll get a meal. Maybe they'll get a cup of coffee. And the response that I got all over the place is, they're probably going to drink it up. So they already believe something to be true that may not be true. Exactly. And so I give it, so I don't care if they drink. That's not my choice. It said, I care that I was generous, and with the right attitude, go get something to drink, buy a shirt, get a blanket, something. And so you give of your abundance, okay? Yeah. You give of your abundance. You always do more than you're asked to do. So if someone says to me, do this, I do this, and then some. You hit a baseball, it's 400 feet, someone jumps up and catches the ball, it's a long out. 400 feet and 3 inches, it's a home run. The little extra that you can put in effort to be different and stand out above people is going to make you greater.
Exactly. And, a side note on the principle of gift giving, when you give something, you don't give it with attachment of what is to come of that, what the outcome is going to be. You give and you release it. So you don't have to worry about whether or not the person receiving is going to like the gift, want to return the gift, or whatever. You can manifest all these things about the outcome of it that, like he said, most of the time, 90% aren't even true. So when you give something, truly give with the purpose of giving it away, and then let the receiver do whatever they want to do with it. That's where blessings come from, not from a specific tied outcome. Another thing to really bring into point here is a lot of people fear change. We mentioned that. And they fear change to the point where they're like, well, I'm not changing. Well, the news is that you're changing whether you want to or not.
Yeah, they say, let me interrupt. They say, that's just who I am, which is a kiss of death with regard to success.
I've always been that way. That's another one we've heard. You know, I was raised that way. I've always been that way, or that's how it's always been, even throwing it to outside forces. Well, the news is there's always change, and there's always been change. You can look back 1 year or 50 years, things are different, especially this year. So you can change for the better, or you can let things force you to change into something maybe you don't necessarily want, which is where a lot of people are right now. You have let the outside dictate who you are and how your life lives. And what we're trying to give you, cancel, cancel, not try, what we are giving you are the action steps to actually bring you the avenue to change of your choice. Talking about choices, everyone has choices. So this is a pathway to really choose who you want to be instead of letting the world and everything around you decide for you. Because the end result is change is inevitable. I mean, it's going to happen. It's inevitable.
So you just watched Mary do something that most of you should do and could do if you're aware of it. She started to use the word try, and she heard herself say, because she knows that there's no such thing as a try. You're either on the onward pursuit of attaining a goal worthwhile, or you're not. You're either dieting or you're not. You either you've stopped smoking or you're not. There's no try. Try is a metaphor for, yeah, I'm going to do the best I can, but I'm going to fail. You know, so
Exactly.
you heard Mary stop and say, cancel, cancel. And then she put in the right thought in her mind. So she's always training her mind. You know, in these times right now, and I got to stay away from politics for sure. But if you look at America, with your Democratic, Republican, who you vote for, that's your business, not my business. I have my own feelings. However, do you agree that America is in a bad place, in a bad mind spot? We have COVID news 24 hours a day. People that we have the politicians screaming different sides just to get elected. There is no harmony. Friends are not talking to friends about it. Families are breaking up because of the political thing. We're looked at from other countries as being crazy, and we should be leading the world. The leading the world was we were free to speak our mind, free to do everything. But you're free. You can change your attitude. You don't have to be among people that have pity parties and are telling what's wrong or gossiping. You don't have to be part of that. You can be part of this new club called whatever you in mind. I'm going to be more successful, happier, and healthier, you know, which is pretty good, you know, goals to have. And so I think all this is a negative thing. So I've made a decision. I'm not watching the news I'm going to a news media blackout. You know, I'm not watching it. I can't, because it's only poisoning our brain. And I start to believe, I found this to be true, depending on the channel I went to. I started to hear things and believe things that I have no way of knowing if they're right or wrong, right? Because I like this person that was saying it was said in the right way. I was just susceptible at the time. I said, whoa, stop that now. Who am I? What do I stand for? And what do I want to achieve in my relationships, my children? What values do I want to put in? And for me, my grandchildren, right? You know, who am I? How do I choose to live my life? Not only what choices. So the choices are choices. The decisions are the decisions, but you have to be aware of where you are. So if you're right over here in life and you want to go over here, just remember, you're going to rise, you're going to change, people are going to look at you. And the average person, even friends and family, say, don't do that. Be safe, not sorry. They'll pat you back down to their level. You stick your head up because you want to change, and they'll keep trying to pull you back down. Why are you doing extra work? You don't need to do that. Slow down and be mediocre like us. So my question is, do you want to have a mediocre marriage? Do you want to have a mediocre life? Do you want a mediocre movie? Do you want to have a mediocre meal with mediocre children in a mediocre neighborhood and a mediocre backyard? The answer to everyone would say, no, I don't. So then we're saying that do something about it by changing your mind so you can change your life. That's what happened to me. I read books. If you look right over here, I don't want to move the computer. I have shelves and shelves of self-help books. I write the darn things. But when I hear someone say it, it comes in a different way. And I keep putting in good stuff into my head. I use Brain Tap, you know, the audio things to put good thoughts in my head. When I ride my bike for exercise, which I do, instead of music, which I do most of the time, sometimes there's a book in my ear. I'm always trying, cancel. I'm attempting and working on getting to the next step. And that's all I'm asking you to do. Go one step at a time. And we gave you an invitation. Some of you have taken us up on it. Call us if you want to. We'll be happy to talk to you. No charge. We're happy to put you on a path. Another person that's going to change their life.
So the last chapter that we did, chapter 9, was procrastination. So I am challenging you to do something. Make one change. If you're all in and you want to radically change your life, these steps will get you there. But if you're that procrastinator, if you are just so unsure, do one thing. One thing will snowball into another, I promise. Now, the thing is, there's the law of diminishing intent. If you decide today, I want to change, I'm going on that diet, I'm going to do X, whatever X is. If you don't do something immediately, upon 2 weeks later, if you wait 2 weeks to do it, the odds of you doing that are greatly reduced. You're most likely not going to or won't follow through. So if you've made a decision, which is huge in changing your life, is being a decision maker. If you've made the decision, no matter how hard it is, do something, do one thing today. Just do one thing to move you forward. Something resonated with you, I'm sure, in these 10 chapters, that there's one thing that you can at least do for yourself and for the betterment of everyone around you. So I put that on you today to do something. And whether that's just to call or email us or rewatch some of these videos, move forward. It's all in
The
your hands.
videos, by the way, are on the YouTube channel, Change Your Mind, Change Your Life. All 10 chapters will be there for your review. It's funny. When you were talking, what I was just thinking about, if you say you're going to do something, I'm going to lose weight. Let's just take that because it's the example. And you don't, right? You steal an ice cream when no one's looking because there's less calories if no one sees you eat. And if that's what you do and it doesn't work, you can say, wow, I messed up. I'm not going to do that again. You can make a correction. But if you let that go, I attempted to do something, I didn't do it, and I actually ate the ice cream in that case, you're training your brain to fail. It thinks you're a failure, so it tries to attract into your life other things that match what you want to be, which is a failure. So you attract into your life your feelings, your beliefs. And then my good friend Richard Flint, which I think mentioned one other chapter, has a book that's called Behavior Never Lies. So if we're sitting down, Mary and I were sitting down, we're in an airport somewhere, and we're watching all the people, people gazing, right? You can almost see who's kind to their children, who's cleans up, who throws the garbage in the, the waste in the trash receptacle, who's nervous, who's anxious. You could read body language, and with your friends, your character is not defined in a crisis, it's just displayed there. So who you are is visible to your family, to your friends, to your cohorts at work. So what kind of impression do you want to make? So I set my goal and say, so today I know that when I play golf, so now I play golf 4 times a week in my semi-retirement days, right? I go not only to win my $5, which is very important to me, but to have a good time. So I compliment the good shots and I make a little joke and they say, you're always talking, but I'm always talking to make them go in a direction from, oh, this is a bad shot and I'm a bad person, they slam a club, whatever. Hey, it's only golf. That was the worst shot I've ever seen in my life. Something to make that, put them back on. So I'm a minister of encouragement. I want you to be a minister of encouragement to other people, to support them in their goals and ideas. And the more you help and support other people, the more rewards come back to you. So for my part, I want to say thank you for putting up with us for these 10 chapters. It's kind of fun. I do this every day, all day long, and Mary takes care of her patients in her multiple offices, right? And Mary, it's been a pleasure working with you. I think you've come such a long way. You're a miracle to me, and I love you dearly.
It's been a great journey, and the thing that is huge about what we've just accomplished here is when you teach this to others, whether it's in this format or one-on-one, you really have to hone in on the skills and the principles that you're teaching, and that's why I love to do it, because it brings it back to the surface for me too. And Larry, I've followed you for over 25 years and love your message and your heart, and you're reaching out to people in your semi-retirement, which most of us are not going to let you retire. You've got too much to give, of course. But y'all reach out, learn, live, choose to have the life you want, because, you know, it is the one life you have. And there will be an end someday. So why not make the best of it now? If we can help you in any way, our phone numbers are listed. Check out the YouTube channel. We'd love to help you.
And change your mind and change your life. Bye for now.
Be well.